Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can you tell us about you and a little bit about yourself, sir?
Well, my name is Emmanuel, a native of Anambra State, Southeast, Newi South Local Government, Osumei Town precisely. I came from Akabo village, and one of the sons of late Chief Jonathan Ombaro, who just recently passed on. And I'm a businessman by profession, and I'm an easygoing type. That is who I am.
So what do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a businessman.
Okay. Can you tell us the nature of the business you do?
Well, I'm into motor parts business. I deal on cars, even. I do have cars from America, and I do business in trade fair, Aspanda here.
That's in Nigeria?
In Nigeria here.
Okay.
I deal on car battery business. I deal on car battery.
So can you share some of your experiences with us, sir, in terms of business?
Well, business is a kind of a good self-employed, maybe is a kind of, let me just use the word business is very good, because when you are self-employed and you have a business of your own, within a space of time, with God with you, you're going to go a very long way, and you are independent, you know. So with the help of God, if you do business and the hand of God in your business, you will go a very long way.
For how long have you been into business, sir?
Well, I went into an apprenticeship 2003, and I was settled 2010. So I started my own personal business September 2010.
Wow. So that's 10 years in experience.
That is over almost 10 years in experience now.
Okay. Now, can you share some of your journey so far, from your apprenticeship to you being the boss of your own business? Can you share some of the experiences, especially the challenges you passed through along the line?
Okay. Well, when I was an apprentice, it takes a man to be a man, and it takes a humble man to get what he wants. When it comes to the area of apprenticeship, you need to be humble, you need to be submissive, and you need to think very smart and fast. In course of your apprenticeship, you encounter a lot of things like insults, like even assaults, intimidation, humiliation. These are what you pass through when you are an apprentice. But if you can pipe low and bring down yourself, it's a matter of years. Because when I was there, I was only calculating the year I'm going to be free, not what I'm passing through, and that really helped me a lot. So it's a very tedious and a very big problem you're going to pass through as an apprentice. You're going to be hardworking, and you're going to show your boss that you are strong and you are hardworking, you are intelligent, you have all the gadgets it takes for a man to be under a box and to deliver. That is for the apprenticeship. Then, when I was settled, do I say I was a kind of scared? I wouldn't know where or how to start. I started calculating. Then I was settled with 500,000 naira. So I was calculating, if I take pure water from this 500,000, definitely it has become my own money. So it wasn't just that easy for me, you know. But with the help of God, I started, and inside the 500,000 naira, I think so fast with the help of God. I went to rent a room self-contained. which I took about 60-something thousand to rent. Why I did that was that I said if I could rent a room now and I stay on my own independently, if I can do business and see 50,000 naira, I can buy a fan and the fan automatically become my own.
Yes.
That is self-determination and independency. So it really helped me. After that, with the help of God, within 1 year, I have to be grateful to God that I went a long way. Within a space of 1 year, I was able to have a building of my own, even when I was a tenant.
Wow.
So I really thank God for then, and the business was so moving, everything was easy, and it was just flowing the way it is. So that is within that a space of a space of 3 years, I was able to get married, and I was able to have another building of my own again. Wow. Business is a very good thing. Business has to do with, 1, you put your trust in God first. 2, you believe in yourself. 3, you don't believe in anything that can. You don't believe in any other thing. Maybe you say this, when I apply this in my business, this will make me grow. No, you put God first. So with the help of God and how I have, with the experience I have and the length I have gone, my brother, I will tell you that I'm a successful man in business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, as a successful man in the business, you shared some little keys: putting God first, determination.
Yes.
Now, can you share some of the challenges a businessman can face along the line?
Okay.
Because we know it has not been all rosy for all businessmen. It's all about ups and downs. Yes. Can you share some of the downs you encountered as a businessman?
Well, if I have to tell you, the up and down, the downs I have in my business is this. Sometimes sometimes ago, when I started, I had an encounter with some Chinese men who happens to be a business people. They introduced themselves to me, which I also did to them. So we bargain business. The major problem we have in business is capital. Because when you don't have enough capital, for instance, those Chinese men told me they have over 3 containers of battery that they want to dispatch, they want to sell. So I told them that I have the contact in selling, but the problem is I don't have the capital. But with the little I have, if they can give me time, I will still make up by selling the containers. They said, okay, I should buy the ones I can buy. Then my financial capacity then was over, let me say, 7 million naira. So I was able to give them the little I have. I bought it. Within a space of 1 month, I was able to sell all. I went back to them. I bought another I bought over 7.5 million. That is adding the profit I had in the one I bought previously. That was how I was moving gradually. Let me just use the word, I was able to scale only through 1 container. So the major challenges I have in business, or businessmen do have, a successful businessman do have, is problem of capital. Because you might start with 500,000. Within the space of a year, you might have 7 million. But the business proposal might come to you, which might require over 18 million. How are you going to cope with that? And with this, if you have that 18 million, that means you are building over 25 million naira within the space of a year. So that is the problem, the major problem we have. But at the same time, we are still determined, we are still struggling, we are still hustling. We are still expecting that the good Lord who has started this work will finish it for us.
Sure. Now, you made mention of capital as one of the major problems businessmen faces.
Seriously.
Now, how can we meet up with this challenge? How can the government help business people, especially in terms of gaining capital?
Well, if I must start with the civil banks, I will say taking a loan from banks is healthy, is cruel. it's so suffocating, because when you take 5 million naira from bank and you are expected to pay the percentage is very alarming. Unlike me, I have never taken a loan from bank. Even when I tried to apply, when I saw the percentage, I said, man, if I take this, I have struggled and I have sweat for only banks to compare. So I don't take loan. So I think the best way government can do, like other Asian countries, like Chinese, like Philippines, like Indonesia, when you have a registered business and when you have a registered business of your own and you are requiring the capital, what you do is to take your certificate of business registration to the government and say, I need a loan and I have a business proposal. All they need to do is to send a delegate that will go through all your process, you know. Once it's genuine, they give you the loan. In other countries, because I've been in some part of the world, what they do is this. Once they have your ID card, or once they have your business registration number and the name and your passport, that is all that is required. You can't run and you can't mess up with the government. So that is the way forward for them, and it really helps them. But here in Nigeria, we don't even know how to reach our government. That is the problem. So I think the way forward, if the government can bring themselves down, know the problem of the poor masses, know the problem of the business, like the Chinese men, as I said. You see some of them being civil engineer. They come down to Africa seeking for one contract or the other. Once they gain that contract, they go back to their country and they approach their government. The government will send their delegates, they make their investigation. Once it's genuine, they pump in money for them and take little interest. It makes them grow. That is why you see the Chinese all over the world. So if our government of Nigeria can start this, I think it's going to be well. It's going to stop crime. It's going to stop untimely death, because sometimes you see people die on the road because of hunger, because they don't know what to do, they don't know where to start, you know. So if government can bring themselves down and know that the position they are is just an opportunity, because why I said it's an opportunity, anybody can be there tomorrow. Yes. It can be me, it can be my son. So they should use the opportunity very well and have a better history, because the world is a market which everybody will come and go. But the most important thing is that what did you leave behind? The legacy you leave behind. So that is it. If the government can come forward and bring themselves down to the poor masses, I think it's going to go a long way. That is my advice to the government.
Okay. Now, as a businessman, I'm sure it has helped you in one way or the other.
Of course.
Now, how can black-owned businesses, how can they help the community? If we have more black-owned businesses, how can that help the black community generally?
Pardon?
Now, let's say we have more businesses that are owned by black people.
Okay. How
can that help the black race or the black community?
Well, if the Western world, the blacks in the Western world can invest in loan giving, I think the black race, like in my community where I came from Newe South local government, Osumei town, Akabo village, you will see individuals tying roads, creating drainage, putting street lights. These are the works of government. But because they are very successful in business, we don't wait for government. They do it in their own way. You come to my community, you feel as if you're in London. These are personal efforts. These are like showing your brothers that you are successful, and you want them to partake. If they don't partake by cash, they will partake by maybe by support in one way or the other, indirect or direct. So if the black race can come together, like I'm calling on the former president of America, Obama, which is a black man as well, just like what Bob Marley said. He said in his music that wherever you come from all over the world, as long as you're a black man, you are an African. So if all the higher people in position, in financial position, in authority can come together and see how they will help by business loans, genuine business loan, I think the black race is going to be number one, because in our black race we are strong, we are determined, let me not use the word we are successful. It's just that we haven't gotten the necessary gadget. Once you have the necessary gadget, we will go far. Like the black race in American Marines, you can see they perform very well. In their Air Force, they perform very well. So let's stop selling our people outside. We can build our home. So if the black race are in the authority or in the higher position can come down to assist the common men in Africa, it will go a long way. That is my advice.
Now, for a black person that wants to venture into business, what advice would you give such person?
Well, first you have to be, let me use the word, for a black man or the black race or a black man who wants to go into business, first thing you must do is that you must to be sincere. You must be sincere, because sincerity goes a long way. You might start a business at first, it might be dangling. You might think you might not make it, but sincerity, if you have this is me, let your yes be yes, let your no be no. It goes a long way. Though you still have up and down, but you have to be self-determined. As I said earlier, once you're self-determined and you trust in God and you are sincere, the sky is your limit. Wow. So any black man who wants to go into business, number one is you have to be reliable to yourself, and you have to be sincere, and you have to be truthful for people to recognize you and to people to know you for truth. Even when you are not making it, believe me, with time, those people who doesn't trust you will start trusting you, because they will see reason to do business with you. So it has to do with trust. It has to do with self-discipline. It has to do with self-determination, and it has to do with sincerity. Once you're sincere, the sky is your limit.
Okay, so we thank you for giving us your time and having you on our platform today.
Okay. Well, I have to appreciate the black race and the black space for giving us this audience. It's a wonderful thing. This is the way forward. We don't have to, the whites are not better than us. So I'm thanking the black space, I am thanking the media, and I'm also thanking you for this wonderful opportunity to educate our people. Because whoever has gone through my interview, we know that starting from somewhere is very important. The major thing is start something doing and trust in God. Determine in yourself. The sky is your limit. So I'm thanking the black space, I'm thanking the black race as a whole, and I say the good Lord who has make us blacks, the good Lord who has make us this awesome and wonderful people, will always guide and protect us.
Amen.
May God bless we all, the black race, in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.
You're welcome.